Hello everyone, welcome back to the virtual workspace. This is the 14th video in series Mastering Virtual App and Desktop. In today's video, we are exploring Citrix Policies. So below are the topic we will cover in this video. First, we understand what is the policy, and then we'll create policy, and we understand how to create and how to manage Citrix policy. Then we explore the Citrix policy and we explore the settings. There are different categories that we'll see, and after that we will try to understand how the policy apply and how the precedence decide. And last we will understand what is Citrix policy engine, and at the end of video we will create some policy using Citrix Studio, and we will test that. So let's start. So let me log in into the studio. So this is the web studio. I logged in, and from here we can create the policies. So here we need to click on the create policy icon, and you can see here there are multiple categories are there, and as per our requirement we can configure that. Let's go to the Citrix ICA policy. In ICA policy we get multiple settings. We can define the audio, the desktop, the client session, enhance with user experience. Also we can configure the file redirection if you want to redirect the local drive in Citrix session, that we can configure from here. Also if you want to keep session alive, if user disconnected, and if you want to keep active, if the client session disconnected due to the network issue and you want to keep alive for 30 seconds or 60 seconds, that policy also we can configure here. So that timeout we can configure here. So it will help sometime if network disconnected and but Citrix session keep active if you select this option. So that setting we can configure from here. So there are other multiple settings. We can manage the load also. Suppose if you want if you want to fix the CPU utilization, that we can monitor, that we can configure here. We just need to click here and we have to allow this. So once we enable this, we have to if you want to use that 90%, after the 90% CPU utilization, server will not accept the session if we configure that, and then that session will transfer to the other available Citrix server. So that type of setting we can configure here. Also profile management, there are multiple settings. We can configure the UPM profile using this. We can configure the file and folder redirection policy. We did this we using Windows group policy management, but we can do it from this policy setting also. So there are other multiple useful settings are there that we can configure as per our requirement. So let's configure some setting and then we will test later. Suppose you want to disable the copy paste option for external user, so that we can configure here. Let's configure that. We need to select the file transfer option for that. So let me go there and select file redirection. Okay, in the file redirection, the option is clipboard that we need to search. So let me select all the setting. So here we need to select the all setting. I was just selected this IC due to that it was not showing earlier. So let me select this all setting and search for the clipboard. Now I got the option. Let me click here, and by default is allow. So anyone anyone if any user, if they access the Citrix desktop, they can copy paste from the Citrix desktop to their local devices. But that we can let me edit this. So I will disable this, prohibited this, and so now user will not allowed to copy paste from the local machine to Citrix desktop. So I just save this setting. Okay, so I just selected this setting only. Clipboard redirection is prohibited now. So now we have selected the setting. We need to assign this to the users. So here, if multiple filters are there, we can select this as per our requirement. We can also, if you select this, so it will apply to all Citrix site, and no one able to copy paste from their local machine to Citrix. And we can assign this to particular delivery group, or also we can assign this particular OU. Also, if we create tag, we can assign that to the tag also. And as per also we can define, suppose if you want to disable the copy paste option for external user, so that also we can configure here. So you need to just create this rule for your internal IP address. You just need to select allow. You need to know the internal IP address range, so that we can define here, and we can select that we can allow, and for all other we can select this deny option. But we don't have we only have a single network, so I'm going with this option only. We will assign this to user groups. Also we can assign this to the client name. So if if you want to allow this copy paste for particular IP only, that also we can. This is the client side IP. So if you want to allow the particular client IP address, for that also we can select from here. So now we are assigning this to user group. I have created one so I have created one user group. So that policy I am going to assign to the users group. So let's go there. Now let me browse the user group. So I have created one user group for contract user. So we'll and I have added so I have created this user group for contractor. Let's say these are our external users. So for that we want to disable the copy paste route option. So I selected this group. So let me click on save. So this policy will apply. Allow means this policy will apply to that particular group. So let me click on yes. Here you can see the description. The policy based on the user membership, and it will first okay, it will applicable to this particular group. Click next. So you just need to clear here, and you need to click here to enable this policy, and you need to type the correct name actually, and so it will help us to identify that because in production there are multiple policies, and it is difficult to remember that. So you need to provide the name that describe that policy, so it will be easy to understand that. So we'll just type here clipboard prohibited for external external users. So you need to give the meaningful name so you can understand. So clipboard prohibited for EXT means external users. So let me finish this. We will create one more policy for a drive redirection. So once it's saved. Okay, so this policy is created, and the priority also the priority is 2 now. The default Citrix policy priority is 1, and our which we created now, the priority is 2, and the policy is enabled now, and it is assigned to user groups. So you can see the details here. So this is assigned to this particular user group. So create one more policy to drive redirection. So let me click here, create policy, all setting, and you can search or you can browse that here through there are multiple settings are here, and you can browse it. So as I know the name, as I know the setting, so let me search the drive redirection. Let me click. By default it's allowed, so we will disable this for drive redirection also. Click next. We will assign this to the groups, user groups. Let me click here, select this. So we will assign this to, let me search the group, workspace. We will assign this to this help desk group. Okay, click on next. We need to give the policy name here. Just copy it. Client drive redirection. Client drive redirection is prohibited for so client drive. Okay, we need to click here to enable that policy. Let me click on finish now. So we have created 2 policies. One is for client drive redirection, and one is for copy paste. So we will log into the server and test this policy. Before that, we will try to understand actually how the policy work and how it is applied to the server. So we have created the policy, and now we will. So we have created this 2 policy. One is for the copy paste disable for external user, and other one is client drive redirection disable for the help desk user. So they will not able to copy. They will not able to access the local drive in Citrix session, and for this policy they will not able to copy paste. So we will test this policy. Before that, we will try to understand how the policy apply and how it is work. So when user login, first local policy will apply to that user. Local policy means whatever the policy configured on the session or server, that policy will apply, and after that Citrix level policy which we configured, that policy applied to that user, and that policy override the local policy, and after that the site level policy, it's active directory site level policy applied to the session or server, and it will override the Citrix policy, and then after that will the domain level policy apply, and it will override the other policies, and finally whatever the policy we configured through configure on OU level, that policy get so OU level policy will apply finally to the Citrix session or server or Citrix session, and that policy get higher precedence, and it will override all other policies. So if on OU level policy we just configure the Citrix shared profile. So and on Citrix level policy we have configured the clipboard and the drive redirection. So that policy, as we are not configure on site level, domain level, on OE level, so that policy will keep at it as it is, and it will apply to the session. And that and other policy, whatever we configure on OE level, finally that will be applied. So now we understand policy apply order and precedence order. Now let's try to understand how it is work. So there we can apply policy using two different ways, using Studio and group policy management. To apply policy through Citrix Studio, we need admin right. We need administrative right on Citrix level, and that policy which we create through the Citrix Studio, that policy store on the Citrix database. And also we can create policy using Windows Group Policy Management tool. To create that policy, we need administrative right on the Active Directory level, and that policy store on the ED level, and through the Active Directory that we can manage. But for this, and there is one component, Citrix Policy Engine. That service run on the every VDI. That service is responsible for apply policy. It will query the policy to the DDC, and it will filter it as per the configuration, and it will apply to the session or server or user while user login. So the Citrix policy engine collect the policies from the Citrix Studio or the group policy management, and then it will evaluate that, and it will evaluate as per the configuration, and it will apply to the session or server. So this is the way actually how it work. And Citrix Policy Engine is a main component that manage the policy in Citrix. So now we will test this policy in our lab which we configure. So let me log in into the server, and we'll test that. Now we are ready to test our two policy which we configured. We have disabled the client drive redirection for help desk user, and we have disabled the copy paste for the contractor user. So here I am logging with the admin, my admin ID. So for this user, we didn't configure any policy, but it's a default policy configure for this user. So I'll just launch the virtual desktop for using my admin ID, and if I go to the Explorer, I can see the local drive. This is the local drive of server. So that drive will automatically attach in my Citrix publish desktop. Also the DVD drive also attached. I can access this in my Citrix desktop. If I want to save something, I can directly save here. Suppose otherwise just let me create the folder in the local machine. So this is my local machine form. I access this. Just go to the C drive. I'm just creating one folder, test, and this folder I have created in the local machine. Now let me go into the Citrix. Okay, I can see the test folder, and I can copy. Suppose I can copy data here, and that data will store on the local drive, and we can access this. So by default, that option is I can see it in my local drive also. So by default, that local drive is accessible, and copy paste option also is accessible. So let me open this. So I'll just copy it from the Citrix, and I'll just try to paste it in my local machine. So I can test that it's working by default. And if I try to copy from my local machine to the Citrix, that option is active and I can copy paste that. So by default it's working, and we have applied this policy to a different user group and we have disabled that. So we'll log in with that user and we'll test. Let me log up the session. So I logged up with the admin rights, with the admin account. Now let's log in with the contractor user. I think user ID, it's let me confirm the user ID. It is CN user. Okay, let's log in with this user, CN. So, and let's try to launch the Citrix desktop. For this user, we have disabled the copy paste. So we'll test that now. That's so desktop is launching. Okay, it's launched now. As we have just disabled the copy paste, client drive still work for this user. As we have just disabled that. So we will just try to copy some files or copy some text to local machine to this Citrix desktop. So this from the Citrix, I am trying to copy this, and let me try to paste in my local machine. So that particular option is not active now. I cannot do that. So from here also, if I try to do that from my local machine, I just copy it and I'm trying to paste it here. So I just copy this number and I'm just trying to paste it here, so that it's active, but it is copying whatever there in clipboard on this particular server. It is not copying from my local machine. That option is not working here. So that clipboard policy is applied to this particular user and it's working as expected. So let's try to log in with the helpdesk user and we'll test the drive redirection. So let me log off. This is one of the user which added in that group. It's launching now. So for this user, we have disabled the local drive redirection. So we'll test that. Okay, it's logged in now. Let me go to the computer now, and here here we can see only the C drive and the server drive which was there in the other session, that is not redirected due to the policy which apply. Only the client drive you are getting here, and this D drive, CD drive also is from the local machine, but that we and the other drive we didn't disable. We only disable the local drive, so that is not showing here. So both policies are apply and it's working fine. And there is one more option to understand actually. Let me log into the studio. So the both policy which we apply, it's working as expected. There is one more, and there is one more option I want to show you here. So this option, using this option, we can test like which policy applied to which user or group. Also it will help to understand the filters. So let me show you that. So from here we can select the users or the computer. So let me just select for CN user. That contractor user I have selected, and the policy which we apply on the computer. So let me select our session or server, Citrix. Let's check the name, Citrix. This one. So using this modeling wizard, it will help us to like understand which policy are applied to the particular user or computer. So, and it will help us in troubleshooting sometime if the wrong policy applied to the user. So using that we will get the exact information. So let me click next. So we have filter, we have apply using Citrix Gateway. Okay, so we just apply to the user, so we don't need to select this option. So I'm going to click with next. So we want to know the policy applied to this particular user on this computer. So I just selected these two options and just click on run, and you will get the apply. You will get the apply policy for that particular user on that particular computer. So it is help actually if you want. So here you can see that all the policies we apply. So first this is Citrix default policy, it's allowed, and this the other policy we have applied is client keyboard redirection is disabled. So using this tool you will get which policy applied to the users to user or on that on particular computer. So it will help in troubleshooting sometime if user reported that they are not able to do that, and you are not they are not able to copy paste or client drive is not redirecting, or maybe there is many other policy you even fill for that particular user, and you want to know that using this wizard you can get this detail. You just need to select the computer user, and if you use any filter that you need to use, and you will get this detail here. So it's useful information, and if you want you can export this in HTML file, or there are 2-3 formats, so you can export also that information. So this all about the Citrix policy. We cover almost one thing. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.